Welcome to TMZ Live. Harvey Levin here.
Charles here.
So there is a big development in the Menendez case. On Friday, we found out the judge issued an order. It's called a show cause order. And essentially, he is telling prosecutors that he is swayed by the new evidence that the defense, Eric and Lyle, have presented to him. And unless the prosecution can come up with a good reason why that new evidence is bogus, he is inclined to throw out the conviction and release them outright.
That is stunning. And the new evidence that the judge is referring to would be the letter from the former member of Menudo who said that Jose Menendez had molested him, as well as the letter that Eric had written to one of his cousins.
Where Eric also said that he had been molested by his dad.
The judge said, if this evidence is what it appears to be, I don't see a reason not to overturn this, toss out their conviction.
The reason it's significant is that, look, they were never going to be found not guilty under any circumstances. They killed their mother and father. They shot them to death. So the only issue is it manslaughter or is it murder? In the first trial, there was a lot of evidence about sexual abuse. 6 out of the 12 jurors thought it should be manslaughter, and it was a hung jury as a result. In the second trial, the judge severely limited their ability to present any of that. So what this new judge is saying is, had this evidence come in, had the judge allowed it, that it may have swayed the jury to a manslaughter verdict, and they've already served more than 3 times the maximum for manslaughter.
Yeah, so that's the key to everything. This judge is saying that if the error was made, it would have been reversible error. Every trial has errors. What the judge is looking for is some sort of a mistake that the trial judge made in excluding the evidence that actually would have resulted in a different outcome, that would have resulted in exoneration or just a lesser conviction. And if that's the case, if that's the judge's findings, he's going to do what he did here, which is shift the burden of proof back to the prosecution to say, hey, it's not just enough that you got this prosecution in the first place, this conviction. We want to prove again, we want to show why it would not have been a different outcome had this information been included.
So the DA has 30 days to respond, and if the judge is unpersuaded by prosecutors, he could release them, and there may never be a parole hearing because the conviction itself would be thrown out.
Right, which was already scheduled to be happening.
For next month.
Next month, but maybe that is irrelevant if this goes forward. So, as we were saying, the burden of proof seems to be now that the ball is in the DA's office, and that they've got to respond. Earlier today, we spoke to Nathan Hawkman, the LA County District Attorney. This is what he told us his office plans to do.
You've talked about this a lot and have even filed paperwork to support your position. So is there something more you're going to present? Because it feels like the judge is leaning toward throwing out this conviction.
So I would actually disagree with that based on the actual procedure involved with a habeas petition. When someone files a habeas petition, the people are often asked to give an informal response, and that's what we provided. An over 80-page informal response to let the judge know what our position is and whether or not we think there is any merit whatsoever to that petition. We believe that there is absolutely no merit, and the judge shouldn't get to the next stage, which is to actually ask the people for a formal response. The judge said, in essence, there was a prima facie case. That is the lowest level standard that a judge can analyze a case. So he basically said that under the lowest level standard of analysis, we want to hear from the people again with a formal response. He's given us 30 days to make that formal response. We will make that formal response. But at all points in a habeas petition, the defendants bear the burden of evidence. So the judge has made absolutely no finding whatsoever that the Menendez brothers have met their burden of evidence. We believe after the judge considers in a formal response our analysis of both the law and the facts, an extensive, detailed analysis of both, the judge will conclude that habeas relief is not appropriate.
If that weren't the case, if the judge actually does throw out the convictions, would you file murder charges again against Eric and Lyle Menendez?
We'll have to see exactly how this plays out and what is the basis for the judge doing it, what ends up happening quite candidly as well with the other parts of the procedure. There's a parole hearing coming up. Eventually, it's going to land on the governor's desk. So that final decision is certainly far away from being made. But we are fairly confident that when the judge considers all the evidence and the law in connection with this habeas petition and applies the burden of proof, which is the defendant's burden of proof, not the people's, we believe that the habeas petition will be dismissed and rejected.
Well, we'll see how that plays out. By the way, we are going to speak to the DA a little later in the show about a big case here, Sam Haskell Jr.
One of the most gruesome murder cases you will ever hear.
Awful. And he is supposed to be in court today, Sam Haskell Jr., but he will not be there for that because he killed himself in jail on Saturday. But we're going to talk to the DA about that and what evidence they had that they were going to present against him.
Shanice, Houston, Texas. So it looks like the Menendez brothers have a really good chance of getting out. I think that just like, they've served enough time to definitely prove that they, have been rehabilitated. And so just like with Gypsy Rose, once they get out, it's just up to them to make sure that they're showcasing that they're trying to lead a positive lifestyle, and live correctly. So society won't be as harsh on them.
Just so you know, the rehabilitation would be irrelevant if this judge...
Right. It's no longer about rehabilitation.
Yeah, it's no longer about rehab. We're going to move on.
Yes, to Jennifer Aniston and her vacation over in Europe. She's off the coast of Mallorca with some famous friends and apparently a boyfriend.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Yeah, that's Jim Curtis, who is an actor and or a hypnotist.
Hypnotist.
And we knew that they were hanging out, but this is the first time we've seen PDA. So this seems to be the first inkling of a confirmation. Neither of them have said anything about being a couple, but they are on a couple's trip.
Yeah, so like her people close to her haven't confirmed, haven't denied. She hasn't confirmed, he hasn't confirmed. But through these photos, I mean, they're giving each other a massage. She's holding his hand for support at one point. I think it's very much a boyfriend meeting the friends kind of trip.
Well, and also the fact that they're with two other couples, right?
Right. Well, they're
Jason Bateman and Amy Schumer and their spouses are there.
Two other important things here. Mm-hmm. One is that her reps have a history when there's a rumor that she's with somebody and she's not. They will instantly say, not true. They are radio silent on this.
They're not saying anything, right?
Second thing I want to say is I wouldn't be surprised. She has followed him. He's written these self-help books about hypnotism and whatnot. She's been like a fan of his for years now, several years. And I'm wondering, maybe we just saw it on this trip, but they may have been together for a long time. It's just she's real private and you don't see it.
Right.
But I'm thinking maybe this has gone on for a couple of years even.
I completely agree, Harvey. I mean, let's not forget we haven't seen her in a relationship since 2018. So they could have been together for a very long time. She said she's reading his book, like you said, about attracting deeper fulfillment. It's very sensual. I think this is more than a friend situation.
It's too self-helpy for me.
You're out at self-help.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Diamond in Dallas. Now listen, it's the man, it's the massage, and it is the yacht. For me, I am so excited that Jen is getting some TLC. Now, whether this is a full-blown romance or whether this is a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, it's all good because the thing is, let's be honest, so many relationships, they aren't forever. However, if you can get a massage down while watching the sun go down, that's a win to me. So go, Jennifer. Yeah.
I gotta thank you because I've been sluggish today, and coffee didn't work, and Diet Coke didn't work.
That was an injection of adrenaline right there.
You made it work.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to take a break.
All accurate, though,
yes.
as you said.
We're taking a break.
When we come back, Trey Songz under investigation after a night out where he was supposed to interact with fans and instead ended up attacking a photographer. It is all on camera, and the guy he attacked went straight to police. We will explain why. Some serious injuries here. It's not often that we get Exhibit A in a potential criminal case, but what you're about to see is Exhibit A in what could be a criminal case for Trey Songz, who is, we confirmed this morning, we broke the story about this incident we're about to show you, but we've now learned that there is a police investigation into this because Trey Songz, as you're about to see, just went off on a photographer who was at an event where this was in Long Island in Huntington, New York, and Trey was making an appearance there. The appearance seemed to go well.
Well, maybe not, because in the middle of it, he started getting annoyed that fans were asking for photos.
Right. And that's when what you're about to see unfolded, because you're going to hear there's a commotion where there's a fan who's yelling at Trey. Trey is trying to walk out, and then decided to, for some reason we can't figure out from this video, absolutely go off on a photographer. Watch. Wow.
So Harvey, what happened here, according to the photographer, is that Trey unprovoked assaulted him, punched him in the head, smashed two of his cameras, and yanked him around, and actually pushed him up against a wall. He went to the hospital. He had to get a CAT scan. His head was throbbing. He believes
he suffered a concussion, right?
Yeah, I mean, he claims that.
He says it was a concussion.
Yes.
So the police are now investigating this. The photographer filed a police report. What is interesting about this is that the owner of this restaurant bar hired this photographer and told Trey, when Trey came there, that this photographer was his guy, right, and that the photographer was ordered by the owner to take a picture of Trey in front of the logo of the restaurant on his way out. And when Trey was told, look, the owner asked me to do it, Trey said, screw that.
Right, and you can see the owner was right there trying to calm down Trey, who wanted no part of that.
Harvey, this is nothing new with Trey Songz. This is pretty typical behavior from him. He gets accused all the time.
He gets accused about a lot. I will say, I know what you're saying, Jamie, and he has been accused of a lot of things. Nothing's stuck. He hasn't been.
Well, this one you see this,
but this one is different. Like
we'll see what the feds do with him.
I mean, you see this one. So, I mean, he just lost it because he was pissed off. And it seems he's pissed off at the fans asking for pictures and took it out in this photog. So, police investigating, we will see.
My name is Kiera from Knoxville, Tennessee, and I will say that Trey Songz and violence go together real bad. And the reason why he feels so comfortable putting his hands on people is because he's never been held accountable for his actions. And if I was a photographer and the police asked me if I wanted to press charges, and press would have been my response. Plus, you have video evidence to win a lawsuit. I tell you, in 1 or 2 years, there will be a surviving Trey Songz documentary, and TMZ is going to be the first to break the story.
Well, thank you.
Wow. Okay.
Pressure's on us now.
We are going to move on.
Yes, to Jessica Alba and her vacation down in Mexico. Not by herself.
Nope.
She pulled an Aniston. A young man with her who, by the way, there were reports of her with this guy a couple of months ago in England, and nobody could figure out who he was. There's the mystery guy. And
now we know.
There they are in Cancun, getting on a flight back to LA.
He's famous.
Yeah, this is Danny Ramirez. You might recognize him from Top Gun. He's done a bunch of movies. Only 32 years old. Jessica Alba's 44, but I mean, it's Jessica Alba. She could literally date anybody she wants. So they were flying back from Cancun, presumably on like a trip together. It was just them two. But I kind of found what I found was interesting is that, you know, here we got these photos of them flying back to LA from their trip. And then our TMZ tour bus also got Cash Warren. Remember, Jessica Alba and Cash Warren, they split about 6 months ago. They were married together for like 16 years. So we got him out, our TMZ tour bus did, over the weekend with the kids. So he clearly has to know about the relationship, right? If he's there taking care of the kids while she's away in Cancun with her presumably new fling.
2 points to this. One is, it's interesting that they flew commercial, that they got to know that when the two of them are together, they're both famous, cat's out of the bag. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah. The second thing is, the TMZ Celebrity Tour is so great.
Just always
and
ends
you just
up right
see
in the
people
middle
all
of
the time.
Yeah.
But also, we just started it's called TMZ After Dark, and it's every Saturday night. And we have a DJ on the bus, and we cruise Hollywood Boulevard and Santa Monica Boulevard and Sunset Boulevard. We stop at bars along the way. They give people shots. It is fabulous. And it is a party. And
Shots
we do
not necessarily included. By the way, we've now completely.
No, they are. They give them to them.
I know, but it's not promised. Anyway, my point. This is all an aside. Has nothing to do with Jessica Alba and Danny Ramirez.
But it has to do with us.
Or Cash Warren, because we got cash during the day.
TMZtour.com.
But we're excited about the tour.
Melissa from Tacoma, Washington. This all just makes me laugh. But, you know, everything aside, Jessica's a bombshell. And whoever she was married to before, you know, I give her kudos. Who cares if she flew commercial? Maybe she wanted that publicity, but he's a cute guy. So get it, girl. Go ahead.
Seems she is.
He is, 12 years younger than her?
Yeah.
Good for them.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We are going to take a break.
Yes, when we come back, one of the more gruesome murders that has happened in LA in a long time, and the suspect was about to be in court today. That's not going to happen. We broke the story that Sam Haskell Jr. killed himself in jail over the weekend. When we come back, the DA is going to be here, Nathan Hawkman, to talk about all the evidence they had that Sam Haskell Jr. absolutely is the person who murdered his wife and her parents in a gruesome, gruesome manner.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Justin Timberlake made Portland kids' dream come true by joining a bike bus ride. And they always listen to Justin Timberlake.
Cry me a river when they fall. Yeah, right.
TMZ. Sam Haskell Jr. was kind of Hollywood royalty. His father was a very powerful agent.
He's actually Sam Haskell IV.
Oh, yes, because his father is also
Right.
Yeah, but his father, Sam Haskell, was for a long time a William Morris agent here, worked with Dolly Parton, George Clooney, a lot of big names.
Goldberg.
Yeah.
He ran the TV division there.
Big time in Hollywood. Well, his son, Sam Haskell Jr., a couple of years ago was arrested and accused of butchering his wife and her parents, and then tossing their remains in garbage bags.
Well, he dismembered his wife. We don't know what happened to the parents because they've never found the body. But check this out. He hires these day laborers, and they're in the truck there.
Tells them they're moving some stuff in trash bags.
Some rocks.
Yeah.
And so they take the rocks. He pays them $500. And as they're driving, one of them says, that bag was squishy. It didn't feel like rocks.
Didn't feel like rocks. They
opens
take it back.
the bag up and sees body parts. They beeline it back for his house and say, we don't want anything to do with this. Dump the bag, give him the money back, and they call 911.
Right. Meanwhile, and Sam Haskell Jr. clearly didn't know they had called 911, takes another.
He takes that bag, the bag that dropped, puts it in his car,
right?
And then that's him driving, and the surveillance camera picks him up
in
Encino at this garbage bin, and
just in the back of a strip mall.
Right. He just wanted to get rid of it. He opens the trunk, takes the bag out, opens the gate to the trash bin, throws the bag in, and a day later, a homeless guy is rooting through the trash, and he sees the bag, opens it up, finds the body parts, and calls the police, and they go over to Sam's house, and they arrest him.
So Sam Haskell Jr. was supposed to be in court today for a preliminary trial in his murder case. He is not going to be there because over the weekend, he killed himself in jail by slitting his wrists, and now he will not face that. But the DA's office was ready to begin prosecuting him in court today. So joining us right now is the LA County DA, Nathan Hawkman. Welcome back to TMZ Live.
Thank you very much.
So you were going to have a preliminary hearing today. And we've now talked about the various videos where you see the day workers come, pick up the bag, return it. You see him get in his car after the bag is returned, go to a dumpster. What more were you going to present? Because that's about as compelling as it gets.
It is. And we were going to present the entire timeline along with the evidence to show the murderous and barbaric actions engaged in by Sam Haskell Jr. Basically, the timeline starting in early November has him engaged in the murder and dismemberment of his wife, her mother, and her stepfather. When they arrest him, they find a lot of stuff. They find 8 additional trash bags in his garage. They find the plywood that he had bought from a Home Depot that had the blood stains of these 3 individuals. They found a cutting saw. They found a machete. They found a .357 with rounds in a rent-a-car that Mr. Haskell had actually rented in this process. They found blood on mattresses, on beddings throughout the entire house. And then they put this case together, a case that was rock solid, that would have been presented at this preliminary hearing had Mr. Haskell not killed himself over the weekend.
One of the questions about the case, and I'm just curious, as we were looking at all those videos, and I'm wondering if your office ever got more information on this. Did they ever find the remains? I know that there was blood found at the house. Did they ever find the remains of the parents?
They never did. Mr. Haskell never identified where those remains could be found. They never found those remains. The only remains they found was literally the torso of his wife that had been dismembered. Every part of a torso, other than the torso itself, had been cut off with a clean cutting saw by Mr. Haskell.
I know that Haskell and his wife were having money trouble and that she was basically supporting the family. Did you ever figure out a motive for something as heinous as this? Did anything surface in your investigation?
We'll never know the true motive of Mr. Haskell, and he's no longer around. He decided to elude, finally, justice at the end by killing himself. But we are aware, and this evidence would have come out at the preliminary hearing, that Mr. Haskell had a girlfriend. And he was set at the end of that month of November 2023 to go to Japan with his girlfriend. He had bought himself a one-way ticket. He bought her a round-trip ticket. And he was set to go to Japan with this girlfriend at the end of that month. Now, whether that was the motive for this killing, whether there was something else, Mr. Haskell has now taken that answer to his grave.
They had 3 kids. Do you know where the kids are now? I mean, it's so tragic that, are they with her relatives?
Again, it is absolutely tragic. They had 3 young children. I believe those children are with his relatives, not her relatives.
Do you know if it was his dad? Because Sam Haskell was a very famous agent with William Morris.
I don't believe the 3 children are living with the Sam Haskell's father or his mother. I believe it was another relative.
All right.
We so appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it. Okay, We are going to take a break.
All right, when we come back, Donald Trump against Rosie O'Donnell, and now the president is saying he's going to revoke her U.S. citizenship. There are some people who are running to Rosie's aid. We'll tell you who's got her back when we come back. Welcome back to TMZ Live. I'm not sure what Rosie O'Donnell did to piss off President Trump anew. Obviously, they've been in a more than a decade-long battle.
She's been posting recently.
Oh, she's been posting about things that, all right, well, clearly some of that landed on his desk because over the weekend he decided, you know what? She doesn't like it here because remember, she moved to Ireland right before he was inaugurated. He said, I guess I'll just revoke her citizenship.
Can't do that.
I mean, one, legally he couldn't do it, but he made the threat and, you know, Rosie, I thought, had a pretty funny response, which was basically bring it on. She said, you call me a threat to humanity, that is a quote from the president, but I'm everything you fear, a loud woman, a queer woman, a mother who tells the truth, an American who got out of the country before you set it ablaze. You want to revoke my citizenship? Go ahead and try, King Joffrey with a tangerine spray tan. I'm not yours to silence. I never was.
So Ellen DeGeneres has jumped to Rosie's defense.
A fellow expat?
A fellow expat.
Yeah, she commented, good for you, at Rosie, to this post. So obviously she's in her corner. I mean, I know what you guys are saying, like this is, you know, obviously scary that he would even say you can, you know, the president is taking people's citizenship. But like, this is just Trump on Twitter. Like, don't we have a lot more important things than Rosie O'Donnell going on in our country
well,
right
I mean,
now?
you say that, but at the same time, he is talking about trying to change the 14th Amendment and revoke birthright citizenship. So, yeah.
I mean, I guess
that sounds crazy, but so does revoking the 14th Amendment sound crazy.
Yeah, but he also has beef with Rosie O'Donnell. So this is what he does. He gets on Truth Social or Twitter, whatever he's on right now, and, you know, he fires off at her. She fires back. He's not actually going to take her citizenship.
We may not actually, but he may try.
But do you think he asked someone on his staff, what if I wanted to do it? Is there a way we could do it?
There are people who would say sure.
Yeah.
There are people who would say sure.
Look, to your point, if he were actually able to overturn birthright citizenship, then that kind of opens the door to him taking anyone's citizenship, right? I mean,
my point.
Rosie O'Donnell is only a citizen because she was born here.
Nobody would have ever imagined that he would go after birthright citizenship.
But also, Rosie chose to leave. Who says she even wants to come back?
Well, she may not, but it's not about her wanting or not wanting to come back. It's about him, as the president, threatening to revoke an American's citizenship. And that's a little bit scary. That's a little bit scary. Again, I don't care what side you fall on politically. Right. That's just a scary proposition.
Michaela from Philadelphia. So first and foremost, Rosie O'Donnell is an absolute icon. She read Trump down on Twitter and left no crumbs, absolutely no crumbs. Trump using his platform as the president to threaten her U.S. citizenship is absolutely irresponsible. It's a threat to everyone's citizenship, as you mentioned. And honestly, I'll always stand behind Rosie, her strong and loud presence, and Trump's giving fan behavior. He's just using his platform as extremely reckless and power-hungry, manipulative individual.
Well, he's also incredibly popular. And and in my lifetime, there has never been any president or leader in this country who has magnetized, that's a funny word, or magnetized. I just thought of it when I didn't even mean it. But he's kind of magnetized his base in a way I've never seen.
And it's true, but as you said, like, I would hope that even his base would say, being able to just wake up and decide you want to just take someone's citizenship.
I mean, at a point, right is right, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we will see. We're going to move on.
All right, yes, moving on to Drake and a scene that a lot of people thought wouldn't happen, and that is an absolutely packed concert venue in London, outdoors, and they love Drake. I mean, a year ago, people were putting dirt on his grave, saying he's never going to come back from losing the beef with Kendrick. But clearly in London, they are loving them some Drake. He's doing several shows there with some surprise guests. And the crowd actually referenced, I mean, they're not idiots. They know what's been going on in Drake's life. And they wanted to show their support by, well, they shouted out Kendrick Lamar in a not so friendly way.
You name another artist that can do it and bring him up here, we can clash right now. Anybody? That's what I'm here for.
Nobody, only Drake.
I'm here for y'all tonight. Matter of fact, you know what?
It's non-existent.
That's all. Grab me a shot. I'll drink to that. Grab me a shot.
The saying goes that, you know, you go where you're loved, and, you know, with Drake getting the full red carpet treatment with the Wireless Festival all 3 nights, you know, like the people loved him. It was a showcase to show off his talents and his hits. But this also, you know, if you're a Kendrick fan, if you're Team Kendrick, this also still opens the floodgates for more disses because he's leaning into it as well. The beef still isn't over.
Well, the beef may not be over, but they both have a big fan base. And even though that happened in London, that could easily happen in the United States, even, I think, in LA.
It could definitely happen in the United States. It will happen in the United States. The LA part I'm not so sold out on yet, but maybe it just feels that way because we're here in LA. I mean, it doesn't feel like it would happen. But
there would be opposition. There would be blowback, you know, but I mean, both artists, they still have careers.
He could fill SoFi many times over, and they would do the same thing.
Oh, you think that they would yell bleep Kendrick here in LA?
It's you're for him or you're against him. I mean, that's the way this is now. Yeah.
I don't think you get people saying bleep Kendrick in LA. I agree that the people will certainly go see Drake, but they're not going to go that far. I wouldn't think. Not in LA.
I would bet on it.
Hi, my name is Tanisha. I'm from Anchorage, Alaska, and I think that we're moving closer to people saying bleep Kendrick in Los Angeles. I think that this is a great time for Drake. He's been going through so much this past year, and I'm just ready to see him have a win. So for them to say that about him, they show respect about him, and it's been a really tough battle. So good for Drake, and Kendrick needs to be able to feel a little bit of this too, because it's been ridiculous over this past year on social media and all entertainment. So I'm Team Drake, and I say I'm with it.
Where are you? What city?
Anchorage, Alaska.
Oh, I was going to ask. Well, if he played in Anchorage, would you do the chant?
I absolutely would. I'm Drake. Before I was ever Kendrick, I could go into stories about Drake.
All right.
Okay. Well, Anchorage is close to LA.
Yeah.
No.
It's West Coast.
Okay, we're taking a break.
Do they yell West Coast in Anchorage? just a question.
Right.
All right. When we come back, Love Island has the big season finale. And as the new winners are celebrating, some of the people who lost this season are still sharing their fears. Sierra and Yulissa talking about the threats that continue even as the show is wrapping up. All sorts of emotions over the Love Island finale. You've got joy, I would imagine, and perhaps a lasting romance? I wouldn't bet on that. But the winners of Love Island USA Season 7, Amaya and Brian. Nick, your guy, he was the runner-up.
My guy?
He's the guy you were always complaining about.
I mean, I don't have anything against him.
Nick was the runner-up, part of the runner-up couple. And you had Ariana Madix over the weekend breaking down in tears about the whole season and how difficult it was. Clearly, she's referring to the fact that they had 2 contestants that had to be removed from the show in the middle of all of this because of past racist remarks they'd made on social media, which came to surface. Sierra Ortega and Yulissa Escobar, by the way, over the weekend, as the finale is airing, were sharing with the world all of these death threats that continue to plague them and their families just over this reality show and over the things they said, which certainly were bad and were racist.
You know what's interesting, though, with Sierra is that she's getting real death threats.
The comments are absolutely insane. And basically what she's saying is she put out last week a lengthy apology video expressing that she is not a victim. She said that she respects the decision to be kicked off the show. She basically took full accountability for the whole entire situation that happened. So now she's basically saying, now that I've done that, why are these death threats still coming to me? Is this still about accountability? Because obviously it can't be.
Yeah.
Zachary from Los Angeles. Sierra was so wrong for what she did, but she's not a bad person, and fueling hate with more hate only makes things worse. So I want to continue to see Sierra take accountability and grow as a person, and I want the fans to stop sending her death threats.
That would be a reasonable thing to do, but reasonable these days? Fleeting. Okay, every weekend we put polls up on the website. We want to say how you feel about things. Went down last week. Here are the results.
Epstein had a list. Nope, I believe AG Bondi. Of course, it's a cover-up. They're going to go, of course it's cover-up, right?
They're wrong. They're wrong. I know what I'm told by good sources.
I know.
No list, but plenty of names in the file.
See, and that's where the semantics come in.
It is semantic.
That is a list.
You're right. Next, Tom Brady and Sofia Vergara. Great match or mismatch?
Come on, great match.
They're going to say mismatch.
Of course.
See, of course.
Who would be
our audience is so negative.
They're holding out for me and Sophia. If I had to choose a cellmate, it would be, Luigi or Diddy.
What do you think?
Wow.
What do you think? I was proud of this one.
It's probably going to be Luigi, which is crazy.
Wow. Okay. Justin revealing personal stuff on new LP. Fascinating, I love it, or enough therapy already?
They love it.
They're going for therapy. See?
Wow.
This is predictable. Two more.
All right. Whose side you on? Bella Thorne or Charlie Puth?
They're going with Bella. Yep.
Close, though.
And last one. Passion in relationships can last forever. For sure or nope? Not real life. I know what they're saying.
It's not a landslide.
Closer than I thought.
Not a landslide.
Closer than I thought.
Somebody. You wanted it to be a landslide.
Somebody's gonna be a liar. Somebody's a liar there. Okay, we're gonna take a break.
All right. When we come back, Justin Bieber, fresh off his new album release, Scooter Braun had something to say about it. Something really nice. So why did Hailey Bieber apparently throw some serious shade his way?
Buckle up, party people, because the TMZ After Dark Tour has hit Hollywood. Get ready for a 2-hour rager on wheels with the DJ dropping beats as we hit Sunset and Hollywood Boulevard, baby. We see the hottest restaurants, sickest clubs, and stop at banging bars along the way. The festivities kick off every weekend from the Hard Rock Cafe at 7:30 p.m. So head to TMZTour.com to book your tickets for the TMZ After Dark Tour. It's gonna be epic.
A lot of excitement over Justin Bieber's new Swag album, and one of the people who was praising it, obviously we knew that Beliebers were going to love it, but interestingly, Scooter Braun had something to say about it. You know that Scooter is no longer his manager. There was a big blowout between them, really over money. Justin thought that Scooter owed him money. Turned out it was the other way around. They reached an agreement last week, and so that's all squashed. But this is what Scooter had to say about the album itself. He said, "This is without a doubt the most authentically Justin Bieber album to date. It's beautiful, raw, and truly him, and that matters. I have played no role in this one, but as someone who's always believed in him, I'm incredibly proud and impressed and genuinely enjoying the music."
So it's very nice. Glowing.
Very nice. Glowing, and not trying to put his thumbprint on it at all.
Hailey Bieber had a much shorter kind of response, it seems.
Yes, because shortly after those comments from Scooter, she posted this with the music bed on it was Mariah Carey's Obsessed. Certainly, most fans took that as her response to Scooter saying anything at all.
Look, Scooter was never angry at Justin. From everything we're told, this was kind of one-sided, that Justin was told that Scooter screwed him out of commissions.
When
Turned
it
out not
the
to
other
be true.
Right, and now Justin is going to pay Scooter around $30 million.
Yeah, between paying
and that'll
back
all
the-
be squashed.
Yeah.
But
If Justin went back
guess
to
they-
Scooter would become friendly with him in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
if Justin went back to Scooter,
Yep.
right?
Not even his manager,
Right,
just as a
just to be
friend.
friends.
Because they've got a history.
Yeah.
He would do it in a heartbeat.
Portland from Los Angeles. Maybe this is Scooter's way of extending an olive branch in a professional way. I can understand with the financial settlement. This might not be the most appropriate time. I just wish Haley and Justin did not always respond to public issues on social media. It just doesn't feel necessary.
But it's the way of the world.
Yes.
What else do you guys want to talk about?
You know, the Menendez brothers, I've always empathized with them. I'm Bria from Atlanta, and I just wanted them to know that I empathize with what they went through with the sexual assault allegations and things like that, especially from a parent. However, I definitely don't see why a judge would want to set people alleged of their crimes, such heinous crimes, out with just the evidence of two people writing letters to confirm the dad's character. Because what about the mom?
You know what? You nailed it. I mean, you made the argument there. You're right. That all of that, get it. What about the mom? That's what a lot of people are arguing. We will see what the judge does. One more.
Ashley here from Arizona. In regards to the Trey Songz club altercation, I think that he's been in the public eye for a long time. He should know better. I mean, I don't think that the club manager should have forced or asserted the cameraman to go take pictures of him when he saw him already being aggressive. But I mean, come on, you're a freaking adult. Like, you should have self-control enough to not lash out and hit other people. So yeah, I think that the charges being pressed against him are, I think, reasonable.
Haven't brought the charges yet. Police
under
investigation. But yeah, I mean, you respond to somebody taking a picture of you by punching them. Sorry. Taking a break.
All right, when we come back, Travis Kelsey and his brother, they are gambling. That's not a metaphor. They're actually gambling. We will show you where and how did they do. We might have a hint. Travis and Jason Kelsey are in Tahoe. We're in Tahoe over the weekend for a big Pro-Am golf tournament, but that's during the day. The golf is during the day.
What do you do at night then?
At night, not much to do in Tahoe other than gamble. And the Kelsey brothers did just that. They were spotted leaving Harrah's Casino around 2 a.m.
Those facial expressions tell me these are not winners.
Yeah, that's not I won big. It's like the house won again, which it always does.
Oh, yeah. It's
It
like,
always
you know what he's texting, right?
No. Oh, God.
Taylor, can you float me 5K? That's what I'm thinking.
Hey, hon, just, it was a decent night, but just until payday. I swear I'll get you back.
So we got some big news for TMZ Live. We're going to be doing something new beginning this week.
It's going to look a little different. Actually, it's going to look a lot different.
Hopefully you're going to like it. We'll see you tomorrow.